Join renowned Pan-African Bishop Joshua Maponga Marara III from Zimbabwe as the keynote speaker at the 9th Pan-African Pyramid Global Awards 2026 and 12th anniversary dinner to be held on the 29th of August 2026 at Munyonyo Peak Resort from 2 p.m. The theme is honoring the humanitarian legacy of Comrade Rajiv Ruparelia. Book your dinner card now on 0757 342 317 or 0782 342 317. This is the true awakening of African Renaissance. Come, let's rekindle our roots. Africa, don't agonize, organize. Powered by Ruparelia Foundation, Fairway Hotel, NBS, Afro Mobile, The Spy Uganda, Detective UG, and Kasukulai.
To justify elections. Elections have become rituals, like in Uganda, elections cannot change anything. So there are authors like Professor Kwasi Kuredu from Ghana, who says Africa should adopt a new model of democracy. There is what is called consensus democracy. Because the philosophy of secret ballot is that people should not know who you are supporting. But today in the streets, you find people marching for LC1s. They want to be seen to be for a Rumba. You get it? People even put on T-shirts publicly. So if secret ballots, even Norbert Mao went to vote and showed his ballot that he ticked Museveni. So we have perverted the idea of secret ballot.
What the secret ballot intended to cure?
We are doing the exact opposite. So they say, the people of Rumba are many, let us vote for a Rumba. So these are some of the fatal failures of liberal democracy. But to me, democracy would rather fail, it can be restored. But the moment you have military rule, reversing it is a problem. You can see what's happening in Myanmar. You can see what's happening in Egypt. You can see what's happening in Philippines. Reversing military democracy is a headache. It can take a lifetime, up to 40, 50 years. That is 80 years. Even the Israelites took 40 days in the desert. So if you are not aligned, if we had term limits, that a president can be in office for 10 years, I wouldn't mind Muhoozi. But we don't have term limits. You get it, that's it. So we really have a difficult situation.
I saw you cry when Dr. Miriam Matembe was arrested, but not tortured at all. She came out even dancing. But I didn't see you crying when, a frail Elias Lukwago was shown before court. A man can hardly speak, a man can hardly walk. You cry for Matembe, who even said, President Museveni is my brother. And even Museveni, when he's addressing guys, said, my sister. It's like, Otto, you have double standards.
You see, first of all, in philosophy, there's a difference between crying, weeping, and shedding tears.
What were you doing of the three?
But it's true, I became emotional to imagine a 72-year-old woman. Do you know how Matembe survived? How she was arrested? First of all, when she saw these people coming to her home, she had to climb a tree to jump into a neighbor's.
Matembe?
Yes, she climbed a tree to jump into a neighbor's place. A woman of 72 years subjecting her to that.
But yes. Can Matembe climb a tree?
Yes, she.
Free your mind now. Be part of the People's Pan-African Parliament. The Pan-African Pyramid Debate with your speaker, Andrew Irumba Katusabe.
The Pan-African Pyramid Debate with your speaker, Andrew Irumba Katusabe. I'm at Fairway Hotel, the gardens here, and I want to tell you that this is a beautiful place. And again, after a very long time, I don't know where he has been hiding. The Honorable Odonga Otto, former Member of Parliament for, that was Aru County. He's a politician, he's a Pan-African, and Odonga Otto has been in the news for, various issues. He has been talking about many issues. Odonga, Honorable, I'm happy to see you.
Yes, nice.
Honorable Odonga, you've been my comrade for a long time, my brother.
Yeah, always in the struggle.
Hey, I don't know why you...
I appreciate all of what you're doing for the Pan-African movement.
Thank you,
You're doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
And we are so proud of you and the consistency.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know that you grew up in the Pan-Africanism spirit, even when you were still at Makerere. But people have told me that I resemble our brother Norbert Mao. Is that true?
You?
Yeah.
I'm not sure of that.
That you resemble Norbert Mao.
I'm not sure of that, whether you resemble, but yeah, probably.
Actually, others have told me that You need to check this, no matter whether he's your brother or not.
So you want to apply for DNA?
How have you, Honorable? How have you
I'm
been?
fine, I'm fine.
Politics. What happened? You are no longer in the parliament. What happened?
I lost election by 26 votes. I was rigged out.
26.
I
No,
was
you were
rigged
not
out.
rigged. You lost.
No, I was
Genuinely.
rigged. No, it was not genuine. I lost, but it's okay with me. I am deep in the world of academia. I'm doing publications on Pan-African titles.
Hey.
And I'm working on the latest, which will be ready in 5 days. And from Muhoozi, from Museveni to Muhoozi, a political philosophy article on the likely scenarios of Ugandan transition. And I predict it.
That's a book you're reading?
No,
about?
It's an article.
It's an article?
Yeah.
From Museveni to Muhoozi?
Yes. I'm analyzing all the scenarios. That is most
what
likely
will happen?
going to happen, yeah. And as a political
I think we are going to have a good time.
I cannot go wrong. All my predictions have been right for the last 2 years.
Me, I anticipate that from 7 to Muhoozi, we are going to have good time. Good time. I have reached a level where I also subscribe to an idea whereby I think this Western democracy of 5 years elections, every 5 years you're going to elect, is just a fallacy. Now I'm a strong supporter of what Traore, Niger, and Burkina Faso and Mali are doing. I'm a strong supporter.
You see, democracy provides for ways of removing leaders. But these other things you're advocating for, it does not provide ways for removing them. The advantage of democracy, albeit all the weaknesses, they provide for mechanisms of removing leaders from office. So if we had to go the Traore way, the Idi Amin way, the Mobutu Seseko way, so the systems tend to be quiet on how to remove the leaders.
The challenge is, Honorable Dongoto, that even when the democracy has provided those avenues, these very leaders manipulate them.
Yeah, it's true.
And then we use a lot of resources, a lot of money, we lose people. Young people right now in jail, 5 years in jail, with an anticipation that my vote can change a leader. Yet actually they know it cannot. So why would I be doing it?
There is a lot of research which shows that democracy, liberal democracy in Africa is fatally failing. The experiment is not working. The philosophy of secret ballots is not working. We have turned into tribal cocoons. We just use democracy to justify elections. Elections have become rituals, like in Uganda, elections cannot change anything. So there are authors like Professor Kwasi Kuredu from Ghana, who says Africa should adopt a new model of democracy. There is what is called consensus democracy. Because the philosophy of secret ballot is that people should not know who you are supporting. But today in the streets, you find people marching for LC1s. They want to be seen to be for a Rumba. You get it? People even put on T-shirts publicly. So if secret ballots, even Norbert Mao went to vote and showed his ballot that he ticked Museveni. So we have perverted the idea of secret ballot.
What the secret ballot intended to cure?
We are doing the exact opposite. So they say, the people of a Rumba are many, let us vote for a Rumba. So these are some of the fatal failures of liberal democracy. But to me, democracy would rather fail, it can be restored. But the moment you have military rule, reversing it is a problem. You can see what's happening in Myanmar, you can see what's happening in Egypt, you can see what's happening in Philippines. Reversing military democracy is a headache. It can take a lifetime, up to 40, 50 years. But restoring democracy, albeit all the failures, is something that is easy. You can just come tomorrow, restore term limits, restore presidential age limits, say every leader shall be in office for 1 7-year term, put up institutions to fight corruption. Restoring democracy is easy. But getting leadership from military rule to civilian rule, the direction I see Uganda is taking, may take quite a lifetime. So that's my worry.
When you look at the strategic positioning, the action of General Muhoozi, in my lifetime, all the times that President Museveni has sworn in for another term, it is only this time round that I saw him at Kololo, receiving the instruments of power, not handing them over to a public service head, but handing them over to a CDF. What does that communicate? Is there any other time he has sworn and that has happened? That he has handed over instruments of power to to an army officer?
Yeah, we have a situation. We have a situation where there is huge infrastructural development taking place in Kampala. Credit goes to the CDF. We should learn to give credit where it is due. Actually, if you drive in Kampala carelessly, you may find a new road. No, I'm telling you, from the industrial area, we see a complete, from tail to end, complete concrete road, the same way Kwame Nkrumah did in Ghana 50 years ago. This is the first time we are seeing these things.
Well, no, but that's
You
not
know?
that's not by the army. It's by KCCA.
No, but the supervision, the NEC, the National Enterprise Corporation of the UPDF, is involved in this construction. Most of the construction work is being done by Uganda People's Defense Forces. And this is how we have got 5 generals arrested in Mbuya, because they are abusing this process. So we are seeing a big brother syndrome into the road constructions, into fighting corruption. We give credit where it's due. But if you want to analyze Muhoozi's politics in relation to Uganda, can Parliament summon him to find out the cost? Can Parliament summon him to find out the cost of road construction? The other time Parliament summoned him, a parliamentary committee summoned him, he organized a demonstration.
No, he called them clowns.
Yeah. So we have a situation
he called
where
them clowns.
much as we need benevolent dictatorship, but it should be accountable. So my worry with the mind of General Museveni and General Muhoozi, his son, is they don't see Uganda as a republic. They tend to see it as maybe a kingdom, maybe a quasi-monarch. Because for me, I would personally be ashamed to appoint my son an army commander. I would be ashamed. I feel it is not adding up. But for them, they seem not to.
It is okay.
They don't see anything.
Because it's a monarch.
They don't see anything wrong with us. So our perceptions of a republic, this is a republic where we have 56 tribes that have agreed to live together in this shuttle called Uganda. But their understanding is different. So we are not at the same page as Ugandans. So, and it is worrying. It is a worrying picture, because now we have the president who is NRM, and then the leading opposition to NRM is a pressure group, PLU, led by the president's son. So the opposition is in-house. The entire opposition outside, those two are completely obliterated. So this is unprecedented, what we are seeing here.
So I want a significant argument on how the president we have all empowered and given our mandate as the president, when he's receiving the instruments of power, he hands them over to a general, a CDF. What does that signify?
That is symbolic, but he has virtually, there is what we call a slow motion revolution, a slow motion coup. We now virtually see Muhoozi as the de facto president. So that handing over the instrument of power was ceremonial. It was to pass a message to those who care, to listen and observe like you. But virtually, we are seeing a slow motion revolution where General Muhoozi and PLU is getting at the center stage of running the country. So to me, this is worrying, because Ugandans elected Museveni. But those who are virtually running the country are members of a pressure group. You know, a member of a pressure group. So it's worrying, but at the same time, he's also the commander of the armed forces. General Muhoozi is the commander of the armed forces. What gives me sleepless nights? In a future event that President Museveni is not there, who can convene the Army Council to change the Army Commander? Because the Army Commander is General Muhoozi. So can anyone even think of convening the Army Council? It still has to be him.
General Saleh.
He's a retired Army officer. They don't have the mandate. They can only be called into forces. So this is a very worrying scenario for Ugandans, and we are all in the same boat. Nothing personal, but it disturbs us political philosophers in the direction.
But would General Muhoozi make a good president in your own thinking? All circumstances constant, because maybe he can go into an election, we elect him, or he can metamorphose from where he is to. Can Uganda be a better country with
You see, PLU and General Muhoozi gets inspiration from RPF of Rwanda.
Hey.
Yes. President Muhoozi is not inspired by his father. Is inspired by President Paul Kagame. So the iron hand in which is handling current affairs in Uganda is a clear indicator. The same thing you see in Rwanda. You will not find any Kavera there. You'll find huge constructions. You'll have what the government is functional. But it comes at a price of individual freedoms. So I will not answer that question, whether he can make a good president or a bad president, for obvious reasons. But at least anyone who wants to be the president of Uganda should jump on the bar higher than that President Museveni set. President Museveni set very high standards of human rights violation, of human rights protection. You arrest people, you take them to police, you charge them in court. Even if you appoint the judges, they go through a trial and you convict them. Ugandans cannot accept anything lower than that. So for you to arrest me and take me to a basement, that's very dangerous. Even the Bible is clear that when I'm in prison, my family members should come and visit me. It is a right. It is as old as humanity. So to pick people and take them where they don't know, I don't think Ugandans are ready for that. So the standard set high, is set very high by President Museveni. And guess my prediction. You have 50 cents on that. You will see in 2031 Ugandans pleading with President Museveni to run, even if he cannot walk. Because they see that he is the only man who can stop Muhoozi. So people are now worried. People are worried. You steal money at your own risk. If Muhoozi gets you, you're a dead man walking. For me, on that one, theft is a very risky business under him. For me, on that one, we all support him. On the road infrastructures in Kampala, they even work at night with headlamps. The credit goes to him. Hey, two thumbs up. But where is Mwanga Kivumbi? At what cost? Yes, where is Mwanga Kivumbi? Why should I walk on a road when I'm not sure I'll reach my destination? The road is smooth. Even if the road is glittering with gold at the side. So these are the issues Ugandans are weighing. If Muhoozi had political advisors and they tell him to hold the same standards of human rights his father did and continue fighting corruption and road infrastructure, he would be the next president. But I don't know who talks to him, who are his close advisors. He would, if he could hold the minimum standards of his father, arrest Irumba, take him to police, do what, take him to court, remand him to Luzera, try him, convict him. Then he brings the corruption, because his father has failed to fight corruption. His father romanticizes with corruption. As long as you put on a yellow shirt with this poster, you can steal government money. That one does not matter for Muhoozi. You have seen him. We now have 15 senior army officers in Makindi. So if we could be like Italians and get the best out of him, and then see institutional ways of minimizing these things of basement, these things of fearing to talk, I would personally think he would be a good president. But that aside, also regional balance. This is the republic. There are many tribes. There are many regions. Should the whole thing, because the debate now is between relative friends and in-laws. Museveni, Muhoozi, Rwabogo. What about others? So there should also be regional balance. You come up who has stopped you, Odongo too. You know what we are saying? You are here talking. Look at Church go across the country and look at Church of Uganda. Those who connect people with God. They have regional balance and it is not questionable. From Urombi to Ntangali. From Nkoyoyo to who? Now to Kazimba. Next, they have a rotational system. So we needed a system. And yet those ones talk to God directly. They talk to God directly. They don't talk to human beings. So we needed a system where we can also have regional balance. Because if Muhoozi becomes the president, that's another 40 years. Plus the 40 of his father. That is 80 years. Even the Israelites took 40 days in the desert. So if you are not aligned, if we had term limits, that a president can be in office for 10 years, I wouldn't mind Muhoozi. But we don't have term limits. You get it, that's it. So we really have a difficult situation. I saw you cry when Dr. Miriam Matembe was arrested, but not tortured at all. She came out even dancing. But I didn't see you crying when, a frail Elias Lukwago was shown before court. A man can hardly speak, a man can hardly walk. You cry for Matembe, who even said, President Museveni is my brother. And even Museveni, when he's addressing guy, he said, my sister. It's like, Otto, you have double standards. You see, first of all, in philosophy, there's a difference between crying, weeping, and shedding tears. What were you doing of the three? But it's true, I became emotional to imagine a 72-year-old woman. Do you know how Matembe survived? How she was arrested? First of all, when she saw these people coming to her home, she had to climb a tree to jump into a neighbor's. Matembe? Yes, she climbed a tree to jump into a neighbor's place. A woman of 72 years
To
subjecting her
claim,
to that.
but
Yes.
can Matembe claim a drink?
Yes, she did. And this is issue of survival. This is not entertainment. And then you get a senior citizen, a former minister, and you cannot take them to the nearest police post. You first take them to your basement. We don't know what's eating. We don't know whether they're with snakes or crocodile. No one knows. There is no right of visitation. Mistakes are for human beings. They are not for animals. That's why we said when you're in police station, you should be tried or released within 48 hours. So you keep her there for 4 days. A woman who stood for the country. It pains me. Now, Lukwago is my contemporary. I've been with him to Luzira before. Mwanga Kivumi is my age mate. But I fell for this elderly woman. I fell for it and I was touched. And there are many others. I'm still echoing the same concerns. Where is Mwanga Kivumi? I know he abused the first family. He did a very bad thing. I wouldn't even do that, even if I would be given $1 million. Why do you abuse people? We are all citizens in equal rights. But then, if he abuses the way he did, why don't you arrest him, take him to Kira Road Police, then from there you take him to the High Court before Justice Kinobere, and you just call at midnight that give him 10 years in prison. Because they're all yours. You are the ones who appoint the judges, you are the ones who appoint the CID, you are the ones who appoint commissioner of prisons. So why don't you arrest me and keep me in a clear place than taking me into a basement? That is worrying Ugandans. And if this thing does not stop, many brains will leave the country. People will shut up and many brains will leave the country.
That's what he wants. Please keep quiet. Let's work for your problems. You've been crying, you don't have good roads. You don't have a good hospital. Now the man is working, you are making noise. Let him crack on you, then he works on what you want. That you started by appreciating what he's doing in Kampala. That's as a result of the fact that nobody is going to ask him accountability. So he is doing the right thing, and he doesn't want anybody to question.
Yeah, it's okay. Doing. Now I am an advocate, I go to court. There is a law called the Advocates Act. It allows you to confide in me. I've killed someone, I've raped someone. You have to give me all the information so that I can organize your defense. I am not under obligation to divulge the information because we are in a fiduciary relationship. Doctor, patient, lawyer, client, teacher, student. So now look at this situation where Arias Lukwago is being arrested and being charged for misprision of treason because they claim he knew that Besigye wanted to overthrow government. So what is the borderline between lawyer-client information and then the offense of misprision of treason? It becomes very complex. Vincent Oti, this man in the ICC, Dominic Ongwen, called me that I should go and be one of his lawyers at the International
He called you?
Yes.
On phone?
Yes. They allowed him to talk to me. He has maimed, they have raped people, they have cut lips, they have killed communities, villages. And if he opens up to me how they planned the attack massacre as UPDF was sleeping in the night protecting the people, should I now divulge that information against him so that he's convicted? Then you are destroying the legal profession. Then it ceases to be court. So I sympathize with the areas Lukwago is in a very difficult situation. But his situation is not as grave as that of Besigye. For Besigye, I think his life on earth is nearly done. Because I don't expect a fair trial. I don't expect a fair trial. And even if I were a judicial officer, I would not grant him bail.
Besigye?
Yeah.
Why?
Because if I grant him bail, I would be embarrassing the judiciary. They will arrest him immediately by the drone outside court. Because Muhoozi is fighting someone who planned to kill his father. It's not a normal situation. Someone whom they allege tried to kill his father. So even if the Supreme Judge releases him on bail, he will be picked from there and then. So in other words, granting bail would mean removing him from Luzira, taking him to
a basement.
That's what has happened to Mwanga Kivumi. What has happened?
He was safe in
he was safe in Luzira. Now where is he?
Now we don't know where he is.
So bail has just removed him from Luzira to I don't know where.
So he would rather stay in prison?
Yes. So even the judiciary, people should be very reluctant to blame the judiciary for not granting bail. We call it the Kelsen theory in law, where law and order has broken down. As a judicial officer, you have to be very cautious and observe the status quo. So that judicial officer who granted Lukwago
Mwanga Kivumbi
bail has just removed Mwanga Kivumbi from Luzira to an unknown destination. The only question would be, if Mwanga Kivumbi had not made those comments at his home, would he have been arrested? That is now the million-dollar question. I think he would still be picked because this government is at its weakest. They believe opposition is resident in Buganda, and Buganda is the capital city of Uganda, and the Baganda are the most populous group in Uganda. So there is going to be a lot of suppression if we have to survive in this city. So these are not normal
times.
These are not normal times. And I just released a client from prison. He took 103 days in Luzira prison. He told me there are 560 Nup people. Some arrested in 2021. They have never appeared in any court. 2021.
2000? No.
There are 506 Nup loyalists who have been in Luzira prison. Some were arrested in 2021 elections. The prisons are full. No court, no file, no what. So, maybe the multipartism is not working. Maybe we need to go back to our constitution, I think under Article 87, and we bring back the movement system.
Honorable Odonga, that was exactly the point I started with. They said, you are here cherishing democracy, the American style democracy. But even in America, to start now voting, it took about 200 years. They first had to capture, use iron hand, they organized their systems, then they allowed people to vote. Even when they started, the women were not being allowed to vote. You get it? Now, after they had entranced their systems, now they allow an Obama to come and sit on the system. But Obama, you cannot change anything. They allow a Trump. Trump is just playing. His time is coming, he's going to leave. When he leaves, things will get normal. So you just come and sit on top. And then time comes, you leave.
Yeah.
But the systems remain. Now in Africa, the system is you. That's why somebody can say, this one, arrest him. Put him in a basement. But the law is saying put him in a police cell. Nobody is questioning that, please. The law says this. No. But in America, you can ask.
Yeah.
The systems will check you.
Yeah.
Today, there are things that Trump would like to do, but he cannot. Today,
Yeah.
there are things that Trump feels, he wants to grab somebody and kill you, but he cannot do it.
Yeah.
Because the systems will check him. Now, before we do that in Africa and in Uganda in particular, the movement system was better. From 86 to 96, all of us belonged to one family. If we quarreled from the same family. But in the evening, we ate together on the same dinner. Today, they are saying, Otto is from there. Mirumbi is... Now, we are all in Uganda. But somebody thinks if you're a Nup people, Nup, NRM, you are different people. And therefore, when they are handling you, do you know that some of these people are handled more cruel than Konyi?
You see,
The way they handle Konyi, the way they handle this man they arrested from Tanzania, Jamil Mukulu, is different.
You see, we had a referendum that decided that we should go for multipartism. It is Ugandans who decided in the referendum. But retrospectively, I think President Museveni did not welcome multipartism. In his mind, he says, let those who don't want us leave.
But you will see in the future.
They said, let them leave. They just opened the door to say, let the Mara to Otto, Cecilia Gwal, Ben Wacha, this man from Ntungamo, the UPC, Yona Kanyomozi, let them leave. So the moment we left the house, they now remain intact. That is not how the multipartism should have been welcomed. So it is not working. But without going to the US, ask yourself, why is it working in Kenya? Because the rule of the thumb in Kenya is the moment you join the military, hands off politics, whether you have retired or what. You stay in the barracks and that is your world. But in Uganda, we are crisscrossing. The army is in parliament, the military, what? So the moment we don't remove the military from elective politics, this multipartism will not work. Actually, I used to tell people, it is even wrong for Mugisha Muntu to come and run for president. It is even wrong for Besigye. Those are tags. President Museveni has retired from the army. Have you seen any difference whether he's putting on uniform or not? He's the same person. When he dons in those military outfits, even the word retired becomes a past tense. So we need as a country, especially the young generation after us, that the moment you go and roll in mud in Changkwans, it is all over for you. You cannot be in elective.
That's your life.
Yes.
You've chosen.
So that is the system we really need to adopt. So it is a worrying situation for all Ugandans, and we keep thinking. Yeah.
Of recent, you have seen, I'm sure, and listened and watched our brother Rwabugo Odrek. He has been having a lot of outbursts in regards to how Uganda is being managed. What is your view on Rwabugo?
I've met him once, I think, somewhere in Kihihi, when I went for the wedding of the area MP then. And we exchanged a few ideas. I think Rwabugo has presidential ambitions.
Which is okay.
Which is his right.
Yes.
So I don't think he has professional political advisors, because his calculation is that if he shows that Muhoozi is bad, then Ugandans can think
Rwabugo is good.
it is him. But for Ugandans, we see all of them as birds of the same feather. They are the same family. This one is the husband of the president's daughter. This is the brother. So Ugandans see all of them together. So as the all African
for Rwabugo, he thinks if Ugandans don't choose Muhoozi,
it is him.
The next alternative is me.
It is absolutely mistaken, because the most probable successor inside that house of Museveni is Muhoozi. Rwabugo's name is nowhere. Even me and Nilotic, I've just learned to pronounce it because I'm educated. I would even bite my tongue. you get it?
Rwabugo.
So
you first learn the name. Rwabugo.
That one. Rwabugo. So the point I'm saying is using a wrong kind of politics. He's almost using the politics of Kabanda. He thinks he thinks by pulling other people down, PhD, he can get up. Where Ugandans have reached, if the choice is between Rwabugo and Muhoozi, they would go for Muhoozi, because they say if you, first of all, Muhoozi is not a civilian. Rwabugo is a civilian. How do you control the armed forces? Secondly, Muhoozi has put a clear landmark on fighting corruption and road infrastructure in Uganda, which is visible. What has Rwabugo done? Nothing. So I don't want to get into those.
He has been into promotion of Ugandan coffee under peace aid.
Yes, I know. They released 75 billion shillings for promotion of coffee. It's okay. I wish them well. But the point I am saying is, if you're going to eat a frog, you should eat a fat and juicy one, because you are still going to die. But you rather die satisfied. So the mind of Ugandans, they have no sympathy for Rwabugo. Actually, Ugandans don't have sympathy for the first family. But it looks like they can do nothing about Muhoozi. For now, he has overgrown. And the lion is not vegetarian. The lion is carnivorous. Yes, he's carnivorous. He has to look for other animals to eat. So he has overgrown. It's an experiment. You have watched these movies where those things created in the lab, it start even strangling those who created them. So it looks like he's in a race that is slightly unstoppable. So if I were Rwabugo, I would just keep quiet.
You keep quiet when you see people, the democracy. I mean, if Rwabugo has given birth to children, he's also bothered on where he will live his children.
His objective is different. His objective is to show that General Muhoozi is bad. That is not the objective of the average Ugandans. The average Ugandans want to see transition. So let them find other proper avenues on solving their family problems. And I would also advise Kabanda to keep quiet. This is very close, because Rwabugo is the husband of the president's daughter. Is it Patience?
Yes.
And Patience is the brother to Muhoozi. So,
but Kabanda sits in the office of the chairman.
My friend, these are family matters.
Yes, this one is sitting in the office of the CDF, who is also the brother of the wife to Odrek Rwabugo. He's also in the family, Kabanda. Kabanda is sitting in the family office.
Okay, if that's how you're seeing it, but for me, I'm not seeing it that way. There is what we call in law prohibited degrees of consanguinity. The Rwabugos, Muhoozis, their children cannot marry. But their children can marry Kabanda's children. So what I'm saying, it is out of order.
For Kabanda?
It is out of order. It is unethical. And this Muhoozi you are seeing here, the day Museveni is not there, he will even arrest Rabogo.
Yeah.
I've just told you that lions don't eat grass. It is President Museveni's restraint that has made Anita still stay in her house. If it was Muhoozi, Anita would be long time in Luzira. So in one of my articles, I was distinguishing between President Museveni and Muhoozi. President Museveni condones corruption. Muhoozi does not. President Museveni is tribalistic. Muhoozi is a nationalist. Challenge me on
Museveni
that.
is tribalistic?
Yeah, he's tribalistic.
How?
Very, extremely.
No, I don't agree with you.
Extremely.
How?
40% of all the ministers are from Western Uganda. All key ministers are held by his relative friends. And
On merit?
Not merit.
Yes.
Does the merit follow only one tribe? But you also sympathize with him because the nature of revolution is that the NRM Bush War started from Ankole. But you'll ask yourself, how many generals are from Ankole? Are you trying to say all the people from West Nile, other than Moses Ali, are mad? So is tribalistic? That is my view. But Muhoozi is nationalistic. So they should go slow. They should find better avenues on solving their family problems because the whole of Uganda is waiting for them. Ugandans are aggrieved. Ugandans feel power should migrate from that family to another family. That is the average view of Ugandans. Whether they can achieve that or not in their lifetime, that is it.
Hey. Because you're a philosopher, in your way of thinking, do you envisage General Saleh also coming in the picture to lead Uganda at some point?
Yeah, in one of the writings I'm doing, which is a carefully thought out process, I'm writing an article from Muhoozi to Museveni. Is it a slow motion transition? So, if President Museveni wills, in the current situation of Uganda, he can hand over power to his son. Ugandans have been decapacitated to resist that. Yeah, the Ugandans have been. So that's the first scenario. If he's there, and then the constitution is amended to either allow soldiers to run for elective offices or to allow parliament to amend the constitution to provide for MPs to elect the president, most likely. That is why Honorable Alupo was in Zambia. Zambia just did that. They have removed universal adult suffrage to parliament to elect MPs. Now, this parliament of 570
Zimbabwe
MPs...
has done the same?
Yes.
Zimbabwe?
Yes. This parliament of 570 MPs, even if you give 1 billion per MP to vote yes, it is still cheaper than going for elections. So we may see a constitutional amendment these days, and we may also see the law being amended to allow a serving officer to be the president. So if President Museveni wills to hand over power to Muhoozi, Ugandans cannot resist it for now. Now, the second scenario, in an event President Museveni is not there, and listen to this, the philosophical question would be, can Muhoozi hold power? In my opinion, in the short run, yes. In the long run, no. There will definitely be a counter-revolution, which would be natural. Because the moment is the final person, and it does not stop these things. Basement. The country there will be a counter-revolution. So my thinking, in the second phase of that counter-revolution, revolution is not carrying guns and killing people, even changing the thoughts. That is where the key role of General Saleh would come in, because the old guards who are being relegated systematically would definitely come back to command Ugandans, because Ugandans still believe in the armed forces, even when you are retired. To them, it is immaterial. They say a general lives here, a brigadier lives here. So the old guards will come back and save the counter-revolution. That's my prediction. Yeah. Because otherwise, if things continue like this, and someone is the president, remember, if you are the president, you are arresting people, taking me to the basement, arresting people, taking to the basement, no trial, no trial. You think people will just sit home to wait for you, to arrest the next person? That's not the culture of Ugandan. Ugandan carries guns and go to the bush.
Hey.
That is what they did. That is what President Museveni did to Amin. Because you are not just going to be home and say, today is me, tomorrow someone else. Ugandans cannot accept. Then there is most likely going to be a civil war. And the moment we degenerate into a civil war, it will be very unfortunate for Uganda, because the UPDF is so prepared to contain any kind of civil war. So we will have a situation where the country will be divided. Because you cannot carry guns from Padre that you're coming to Kampala to overthrow the city. It's not possible. So we will have an Iran, we will have an Iraq, we will have a Lebanon situation where now we have paramilitary group, or we have a Somali situation. So we should all work hard to avoid that kind of situation coming in this country. And we have an opportunity to work hard. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Now, let's switch again to a little bit to another issue. You have been watching and following Honorable Balaam Barugare, the Minister of Local Government, and Justin Namere, his deputy, was State Minister for Local Government, fighting corruption. What do you say about their choice of approach to corruption fighting?
You see, when the grasshoppers came in Karamoja, you remember 7 years ago, there was a swarm of grasshoppers. You remember? The government of Uganda took even UPDF soldiers with guns to Karamoja. They were deploying them. How do you take someone with a gun to something which is flying? That shows the level of desperation. So, what Balaam...
Locusts. You remember?
Locusts. That's what I'm talking about, locusts.
Before you have called them grasshoppers.
Yeah, because we eat them. So, Balaam and Namere are doing a commendable job. And thank you for President Museveni for identifying such workaholics. Now Balaam has sent a shock wave countrywide. Even in districts he has not reached. The thieves are already,
they're already preparing.
panicking. And this credit, and President Museveni said, I quote him, that you people say Namere likes quarreling. I will send her to local government to quarrel with the people there. So this is one of the good placements done by, and the credit goes to President Museveni. Why would you make Balaam a government chief whip? So they are sending a shockwave. There are many Ugandans, but the more we praise Balaam and Namere, the more we are admitting our institutions have died. Where are the RDCs? Where is the DISO? Where is the IGG? Where is the DPP? Where is the State House and the Corruption Unit? Where is the Auditor General? How can all
Where is
these,
the police?
Where is police?
CID.
Where is CID? 8 government agencies. The Anti-Corruption
Auditor General.
Auditor General. So
but also, in those governments, there are also internal auditor.
Internal auditor. So we have Public Accounts Committee of Local Government. So how do we allow these things to happen like this when all these institutions
are there? We are actually giving them money.
Are there waiting. So this puzzles me and many Ugandans. And the simple answer is the institution have become the dealers. The RDCs eat together with the contractors.
Yes.
So they have become complacent. They are accomplices.
They are compradors.
Yes. The Auditor General, the IGG, if there is a case on you, they ask for something so that they clear you. So everyone in Uganda is on a looting spree. They steal public money with a clean conscience. I even handled a case where the prosecutor was asking me, I'm a lawyer for that person, that I give some money so that they prefer lesser charges from aggravated assault to assault. They ask for money instead of murder, they put manslaughter. I've been to courts in Masindi here where a magistrate even adjourned court and called me in chambers that for bail application we need 1.5 million bribe.
Hey.
And yet bail is free. Everyone taken to police, they have to pay 200,000 to get police bond. But the law says it is free. And if you don't pay, you are not released.
You are not released.
This judicial officer told me that I'm asking for 1.5 million, I'm helping your client because I'm going to give bail 4 million cash. So you rather just give me the 1.5?
Then they give a bail, non-cash bail.
Non-cash bail. So
if you don't give me this corruption,
yes,
this 1.5 million corruption,
you will give 4.
I will give 4 cash.
Yeah.
So I will tell the client to pay 4 million cash, and he doesn't have it.
So and to put me in a difficult situation, I drive up to Bunyoro, I spend fuel, the client is counting on my legal expertise. Now I have to go and talk to the client that, can you add something? This is the situation. Because now I'm compromising between my religion and the reality that this person can be remanded. So all institutions, election petitions are coming. There are some judges who are celebrating this is the time to make money. So all institutions have given way. And do you know why? What does government provide to you? You. Other than the roads, you tell me one thing which government of Uganda is giving you a Rumba. Nothing. You go to hospital, you have to pay. Education, you have to pay. Ambulance, you have to pay. Public transport, you have to pay. Electricity, you pay. Water, you pay. Housing you pay, other than roads and police stations. What does government provide to you?
You know, last time Honorable Balam sent me to a school in my community,
Yeah.
Bunyangabo, SS. He even wrote a letter and said children are not supposed to pay school fees in government schools.
Yeah.
Because the government has paid. We went. Do you know that people even did not respect his letter? They continued charging. I went, I sat in a meeting. I think the leadership of the school, some are mobilized, some few teachers, and the parents, those who are on the PTA committee, they came and they said, if children don't pay, then the school will close.
And
so they said, can we continue charging? They said, yes. Then they said, the resolution has passed, they should continue paying.
Yeah.
But the law says something different.
And that is why schools in Western Uganda are performing well. Don't blame Manyankole that they're Batoro that they're rigging results. No, they have refused the government idea of abandoning PTA. It is my money. I am selling my milk and matoke to give the teachers to teach my children well. How does it become your problem as government?
No, it is a problem because the government is paying you to teach my children.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, the government is paying 20,000 per child per term. How does it become your problem as government if I add another 100,000 to the teachers? Which law have I broken? Maybe you break the law if you chase children that their parents
have not paid.
Now
that's the challenge I was telling
you.
you.
But now educational system in the West is performing well compared to those
now,
per day.
The problem is that at least if they were to contribute that money, it will be voluntary. But now those who fail to pay, their children are being sent from school.
But ask yourself that why is it that in those schools where they are contributing PTA, the schools are performing well in UPE? And those ones in Lamoa where they are not contributing, you find in P7, a child cannot even know UPE in full. I asked one the other day and he said, Uganda primary education. P7, a candidate. So how do you explain that? So I was still coming to the point. Obote government made sure there was housing for government workers, free electricity, free water. It reduces the appetite for corruption. Public transport was working. You get it? You don't leave it to private sector. Hospitals were working. Obote had operation in Mulago, yeah. Brain
Obote?
Operation, yes.
Obote?
In Mulago
The
Hospital.
president?
Yes. So we have
A
killed...
head operation?
Yes, brain. So what I'm saying, if one day we have an opportunity to come to government, education, health, religion will be brought back in the hands of the state. Health cannot be a business. I come with malaria, you admit me in a hospital because you want to sell your beds. It cannot, even in United Kingdom. By the time they license private practice, the criteria, the government first provides everything. So because we have privatized everything, including religion, including security, everyone at the road now, each one looks at their individual
in fact, all these roadblocks should be made the road tolls. I was telling somebody the other day, you know, when you are taking this Entebbe Expressway, you know that you must have 5,000 to pay at the road toll. The same thing is happening on all these roadblocks across the country. Without money, if you are doing trading, these big vehicles, these taxis, these trucks that take Chaco, Matoka, and so on. If you don't have money, you can't pass. Even if your car was in good condition, everything was okay. You cannot.
Because
so why don't you make it official?
There is nothing that government provides to that policeman. They has to pay his child to school. The government schools are not functioning. He has to treat malaria. The government hospitals are not functioning. So Uganda has reached a stage of man eat man, survival for the fittest. So we need a reboot. And that is why some Ugandans are having sympathy for Muhoozi, because they are seeing like he's rebooting it. You get it? We need a reboot. It cannot be business as usual. You know.
Okay. Let me ask you now. Let's go to the international news now. The football, the World Cup has just ended. I saw some observations. One, I have never believed, Honorable Otto, that once a referee in any match, be it Premier League, be it FIFA, be it La Liga, if a referee has taken a decision to give you a red card, I have never believed that a country's president can overturn that decision. But it happened in America. Trump.
I am an international sports lawyer. I did an LL, a master in sport law from the University of Europe in Real Madrid. So
tell me.
I have a lot of reservations on this World Cup. There is what we call in football or sports law, lato senso.
Lato senso.
Lato senso.
Meaning?
Which means a referee can issue you a red card. In the opinion of the ordinary people, the red card is final. But in sports law, we say it is not final. There are certain decisions that can come outside the pitch. The decision is final in the pitch, but not outside the pitch. For example, we had a situation where we sued a player for breaking the knee, even if he was given a red card. After the red card, we went to civil court. And court held the nature of that open boot is not anything close to sports. And they said the person should pay millions of dollars.
That happened also?
Yeah, it happened. He's president. So I'm not surprised when I see President Trump appealing to the football leadership to reconsider that red card. And I watched this video. He has a case.
Trump?
Yeah. He's saying, let the player play. And we lose with him on the pitch. We don't want to have an excuse that is not on the pitch. So,
but that's not a good argument, because Honorable, other people, other players have been removed from the...
So then where does the principle of lato sensu stop? I've told you situations where the decision... Of course, this is a situation of direct political involvement in affairs of a game. Yeah, but sports law is still evolving.
Yeah, because even in this final, somebody was removed from
Actually, what should bother you is the way African countries were treated. It looks like there is a treaty that any African country should not go beyond the last 16. For me, that is what bothers me. That if we were not a poor continent, all those black players playing for France, United Kingdom would come and play for Africa and we take the trophy. So for me, the level of racism, the degree of hate, the degree of treating African countries is what is questioning the credentials of FIFA, not the activities of Trump. Trump is just but one minor individual. And if someone is in your home and he requests you for something and you refuse, what can happen to you?
So that's
Are you safe? When you're in my home, I say, you first give me that 1,000. I'll give you when we reach the road. You are in my bedroom and you say you don't want. Do you know the exit route?
So that's the level how FIFA, how Trump has taken FIFA to. That's where they are now.
Yeah, it's complex. You remember a prayer, Escobar was shot for disallowing a penalty. He was shot, and there is a whole signed poster of him in Ecuador, I think. So some of these referees, if you take the decisions personally, the CIA can follow you wherever you are.
Seriously?
Yeah. So it's a little more complex than what meets the eye.
But now, what has happened has opened some of us, we have opened the eyes now. Because for me, I've been believing that whatever action a referee takes in the pitch, he is that's why they even go to the VAR and you realize that if he was correct, they maintain it. If he was wrong, the VAR helps him.
For the purpose of the 90 minutes of the game. After that, other actions can still come. And that's what we call lato sensu.
So was Trump correct to do that?
Maybe the question should not be whether he was correct. Was it okay? I would say it is okay, but it's not all right. I know it sounds semantics, but...
No, you have set your own question. I said a different question.
So it's a virgin area, and I would encourage very many Ugandans to pick interest in sports law. Yeah,
so now, since you're a lawyer, a sports lawyer, where do you see the future of this this football game, the FIFA, if they're handling it this way?
And
do you see it getting stronger, or it's getting...
That is the whole thesis, the master's thesis I did, the future of Africa in World
Cup,
in world football. And racism is still here to stay. African countries will be treated badly. There is a requirement for reforms, but money follows the law, and the law follows money. Hey. So countries with powerful financial muscles are bound to be more successful. Ask yourself, the moment I institute a case against Magogo, I fail in Magogo, I go to CAF, African Court of CAS in Egypt, I fail. Do you know where the next appeal is? To Geneva. I go to the Court of Arbitration of Sports. The moment it fails, do you know where the last court is? It is the Municipal Court of Geneva. It's now like the last court is being the Magistrates Court of Nakawa. So that's the appeal procedure. So from Uganda, from Magogo to Egypt, from Egypt to Geneva at FIFA, from FIFA you finish those procedures. When you have failed, That is now where you end up to the municipal court of Geneva. And that is where the case of Casa Semana, this woman who is a man-woman, is ending up. So sports law is still evolving. It is like less than 70 years of evolution. So one day probably it will be somewhere.
Okay, let's move. We are about to end this show. Iran, America war, and Israel. Those three. I want to hear your views. America has been just something that I have obliterated Iran. But at the same time, they are saying, let us sign an agreement so that you open the Strait of Hormuz. But if you have obliterated me, I have no capacity to block you from accessing Hormuz.
This war of Iran was a war of choice. Trump had an option to choose whether to involve themselves in the war or to engage on diplomacy. But they chose war. It was not unavoidable. It could have been avoided. And they wake up one morning and kill the president and key top people. Now, what is bothering the world, including me, is how the American intelligence, the best intelligence, the second best after Mossad, could reach a level of failing to detect that if the president of Iran is dead, people will walk in the streets and there will be a new titular head. Now, what is bothering the world, including Americans, because of failed intelligence? Every day there is a matter being thrown. The command structure, no one understands. It's like you killing President Museveni, God forbid. Another one is sending artillery from Ajumani, another one from Ibanda, another one from Katwe. So the Americans cannot understand where the command structure is coming from. So this is a complex scenario that if you think you're going to cut off the head and everything goes with the head,
you're actually lying.
You are lying.
You're going to produce a multiplicity of many heads.
So now,
and now you even focus on to target.
Yeah. So now, the Iranians have nothing to lose. You just wake up every day. You tell this lieutenant you're going to fire 4 mortars. Then you rest for 4 days. They have nothing to lose. They are desperados. They are injured. They have lost the president. They have lost key people in government. They don't mind. They have now radicalized themselves, and the war is turning religious. America has nothing to lose because the world cannot believe that after 60 days the problem is still continuing. And a ground invasion is not possible. You get it? A ground invasion is not possible. So it is, and they want peace talks, and the Iranians are reluctant to have peace talks. So how does it relate to us in Uganda? You will see the price of fuel shooting
We are already paying the price.
Yeah, it will go up to 10,000. It will go up to 15,000. I saw government saying people should work from home. So we will pay a very high price. Yeah, but I don't support the warmongering of Trump, and this should be the last from the American hegemony to other parts of the world.
What do you have to say about the Trump administration as the president of America?
I support him. He's radical like me. And at times the world is tired of former people.
Hey, you supported Trump?
So much. From day one, I've been supporting him.
I supported him the first term, but this second term, he has become a problem.
I support him I don't agree with all the lives lost, but at times we need to get off the formal path and then go on the less formal ones to solve world problems.
Hey.
He has never had enough problems. Every day he's looking for another one.
Trump.
And some people say I'm also like that. I don't know.
You're always looking for problems. When you enter the parliament, putting on like a ninja, red top one. Then
that was during Toji Kwatako.
Yes.
Don't mistake facts.
Yeah, then I knew that you're also looking for trouble.
Actually, the opposition should pay me for using the red banda. It was my idea. So someone should pay me for using those ideas.
I knew you were looking for trouble. You entered like a ninja.
Now I am edging. I now want peace. I don't want problems. Always.
Honorable Otto, I think we are coming to the end of this interesting show, and I want to thank you so much for giving me your time. You're an interesting guy to interview every day.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. And the viewers, let's support Irumba. Let's support the Pan-African cause. It's a worthwhile cause. The future of this world is still in the brains. The future of this world is still in books. So we should keep generating ideas. We don't take things personal. Where there is credit, we give credit. Where something is wrong, is something is wrong, and we should state it without fear or favor. I have stated the basement is wrong. Anyone who has problem with me stating that, you know where to find me. Because at least, Irumba, you cannot change the day you will die. You can only change the date for the funeral. Can you change when you will die?
No.
Yeah, you can only change when you will make the funeral arrangements. So we have to be firm. If something is no, and I'm glad because of saying no, even General Muhoozi tweeted thanking me that he respects my idea. Because every senior politician was quiet. If something is wrong, say this is wrong. If something is good, say this is good. Like we are praising the road infrastructure and fighting corruption. So why would you have a problem with me talking about the basement and you don't have a problem with me when I'm talking about the good roads in Kampala? So we need to be balanced. This country belongs to us all. And some of us have built comfortable houses. We are not ready to live in exile. We have to live here. We are not ready to live in winter. That is my plea to the viewers, but thumbs up.
Well, on 29th August 2026, at Speaker Otto will be the 9th Pan-African Pyramid Global Awards, and we shall be celebrating 12 years of existence, Honorable Odonga Otto.
I will be there. Oh, you've done quite a commendable job.
Thank you so much.
I congratulate you, and I will personally be there.
Thank you so
We are
much.
so proud of you.
This is the Pan-African Pyramid Show, and we say Africa don't agonize, but organize. You remember that?
Yes. Oh.
Africa don't agonize, organize.
Thank you.
Free your mind now. Be part of the People's Pan-African Parliament. The Pan-African Pyramid Debate with your speaker, Andrew Irumba Katusabe.
Join renowned Pan-African Bishop Joshua Maponga Marara III from Zimbabwe as the keynote speaker at the 9th Pan-African Pyramid Global Awards 2026 and 12th anniversary dinner to be held on the 29th of August 2026 at Munyonyo Speak Resort from 2 p.m. The theme is honoring the humanitarian legacy of Comrade Rajiv Ruparelia. Book your dinner card now on 0757 342 317 or 0782 342 317. This is the true awakening of African Renaissance. Come, let's rekindle our roots. Africa Don't Agonize, Organize. Powered by Ruparelia Foundation, Fairway Hotel, NBS, Afro Mobile, The Spy Uganda, Detective UG, and Kasukulai.